I'm Kiwi. Grow solid. It's time. Your bag better match mine.
Hey guys, I am here. I am back. I am here. I am back. Hold on. Hey, what's going on with you?
Hey, Kiwi with the backbone.
Oh, not a bumper on the bins. I get it.
Right, right. How you doing? What you up to?
Nothing much. About to cover this content.
Let's
It's for the
go. Oh, you
girls.
just started. You just started.
Yeah, I haven't really started. I actually just got out the goddamn car, but but I went ahead and started it up while I was getting out the car.
Bet, bet, bet. Okay. Well, I'm gonna let you get on with your content, but I had to come up here and check on you. You know what I'm saying? And salute you.
Okay. Thank you so much, King James.
You welcome, Kiwi. It's Pastor KJ.
Oh, Pastor.
Pastor
Pastor.
KJ Jakes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get with you on the back end because I think I need some deliverance. Thank you so much.
I do specialize in deliverance. So yeah, get at me.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Bye bye.
I need, guys, I need some protection. I just need some prayer, guys. I just need some prayers. Okay, let me get my laptop so we can go ahead and get started. Guys, if y'all don't know, if y'all haven't already, I need y'all to smash up on that like button and put your girl in the algorithm. Help share me out. But most importantly, let's help share out ZYAH because her story could possibly help others in such uh you don't know what this case can help with others, okay? So go ahead and share me out. Don't be a player hater. Even if you're blocked, because it ain't nothing to cut a bitch off, okay? Even if you're blocked, go ahead and share me out and hit the like button, okay? Me love you long time. Love you long, 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 long time. Me love you long time. Um, I just found out how to do the goal for what I would like. Hey, Callie, cuz Shank, what's up with it, baby? Yes, Callie, I'ma need you, Callie, cuz I'ma need you to continue taking a piss in the bushes so you can piss out them fucking haters, okay? Just continue to go take your restroom breaks in the goddamn bushes, okay? Big Hen, baby, what's up with it? What's up with it? What's up with it? Yes, I'm gonna need you, Callie. I'm gonna need you. Go take your bathroom breaks. Piss them fucking haters out. I want them bushes is as pissy as they can fucking get, okay? Yes, 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 absolutely. You'll be doing me, you'll be doing tons, okay? I don't know how I could ever repay you with keeping them bushes pissy. Okay. So yes, y'all, if y'all haven't already, please make sure y'all smash up on that like button, okay? And I'm signing in on my other don't allow. I'm signing in on my laptop so I can pull it up. So if y'all don't know the story, let me bring y'all to speed with what has been going on with this story, okay? What I have with this story is this is a 13-year-old. Well, it happened when she was 13. She went missing. Her body still has not been recovered today. Um, she turned 14 while it has been a search to desperately find her. Um, Also, this 13-year-old was adopted by her grandmother on her mama's side. Basically, her mama, I don't know the ins and outs of why her mama don't have her daughter or whatever. Could be drugs, could be mental. We don't know, okay? But what I do know is the grandmother adopted this 13-year-old, and I'm not sure if she adopted other children as well, but I know for a fact we do know that she adopted Nazaya. I keep saying Zanaya, but I don't know why I keep doing it, but Nazaya. And Nazaya has an aunt that also stays with the grandmother. Well, she had her own home as well, but majority of the time she spent at her mother's house with her 5 children and Zanaya and the grandmother. Well, the aunt has the father of Zanaya's aunt with the 5 children basically developed a inappropriate relationship with um Nazaya, um where it got to a point where she became pregnant, okay? She became pregnant. And from there, Nazaya and him exchanged inappropriate text messaging. It said that he was like Googling and researching of how to terminate a pregnancy at home. So basically, this 13-year-old had said to be pregnant, and he knew that he impregnated her, and he was trying to figure out how to terminate a pregnancy at home. Then he also had researches on how to tamper with DNA and some more shit, okay? It was said that he was supposed to turn himself in and do 1 year in prison for, I'm assuming, and I may be wrong, like a probation violation or something of that sort, right? So I'm assuming that he knew that he was going to jail, and he didn't want to be in jail and this little girl have a baby that could have pointed all fingers back to him. So instead of, whatever I don't know, whatever this, he just basically took this baby life for nothing because he wanted to be a hoe ass nigga. Bottom line. Vibrant baby, I miss you, honey. I love you. Yes, she took her he took her life because she was pregnant. He had been sitting up here messing with this little girl. This little girl seems like she was I I say that it had to be going on for a very long time because when they go over these text messages, this little girl is talking to him like that's really her nigga. She talking to him like that's really her nigga. So yesterday we went over his biological sister, who, from what I got, this is what we went over yesterday. And if y'all haven't already, please go run back the video from yesterday. That's labeled Zanaya part 1. We went over the sister of this chomo, of this hoe ass nigga, this child, you know what ass nigga. And she basically is the one who cracked this case in whole. She went to his shop and wanted to get her car looked after because he has his own shop and he partnered with somebody. And when she got there, she realized that it was a little girl getting in and out of his Escalade truck or whatever. And she asked him who was the little girl. He said the little girl was his partner's niece. And then from there, everything was, done or whatever. She believed that that was the last day that Nazaya was alive. And so from that situation, she received a phone call from one of the baby mamas, I'm assuming, telling her that one of his biological children had said that he had been touching on them, and that prompted her to find out about the Nazaya lady. I mean, the Nazaya child that is no longer with us, missing or some more shit. Okay, and she basically called the baby mamas called her. Then she contacted the partner that he told her that was Nazaya was his niece. She went back up to the shop because that striked her to start her own investigation when she found out that he was touching on her nieces, which would be his own children. So she go and start her own. It drew concern for her, and she went and started her own investigation, and she got up there. I think she actually went up there, and when she went up there, she asked the dude like, who was that person, that kid that was here the last time I was here that was getting in and out the truck, and he said that was Nazaya. And then that's how she found out, and she jumped right into action and got the authorities involved. And basically, she had to take the stand on her own flesh and blood brother. Okay? And it's really sickening because it's hurting your sister to be up there on this stand. All you gotta do is tell the truth, tell these people where this body at, and let's get this baby a proper burial. And you take your L, you loser. Okay? The gig is up. The people is not buying nothing that you motherfucking selling. The DNA, the DA, the us as a community, we're just not buying anything that you're selling. The gig is up. I don't know why his sissified ass don't want to just go ahead and take his L. You were wrong. You had no business developing no fucking relationship with that little girl like that. You sick son of a bitch. Yeah, so I feel away, and I'm sure y'all do feel away. It touched me on a whole different level. Hey, Elder, what's going on, family? Yeah, so we listened to the sister testimony yesterday. We listened to the grandmother's testimony yesterday. And no, we listened to the sister of the Chomo yesterday, and then we listened to the grandmother that didn't seem to have a lot of emotion behind their testimonies outside of the sister of the Chomo. Like, it was hurting her, but she knew that she needed to stand on business, and she did what she needed to do to get justice for that baby, and I applaud her for that. So right now, guys, if y'all haven't already, we got us a little bit of time. I'm gonna try to get out of here about 9, no later than 10 o'clock at the latest, okay? Hopefully a little bit earlier, but if not, it is what it is. I have not been feeling well, y'all. I have been up underneath the weather. I have been having chest pains for some odd reason. Um, but we're gonna get through this. And this is something that y'all can continue to look forward to throughout this case for me to give y'all updates on this case. And again, another thing that I have not been able to tell y'all, I think I said it on my other video or whatever, but we will be having a game show going on over here. Me and Sister Danella. Hey Danella, just walked on up in the building. I love you, Sugar Wooga. But anyways, we will be covering Danila's journey to love, okay? Cause she need a love baby, and she wants an NBA player, and we're gonna make that happen, okay? And then second, we do have a game show coming up. The game show will consist of two contestants. It could go from two or more, depending on what we working with. And I'm not gonna give the whole format of the game, but what I am gonna tell you is it can be very messy game. It can become a very messy game, but that is determined upon the contestants that we have up of what way the game will take. Okay, I'm telling you, me and Sister Danila put our heads together and came up with a phenomenal format of a game, and it is ready to run. But I kind of been under the weather, and I don't want to be dull playing my game that I created and developed. Me and my sister, I want to be able to play the game because me and Sister Danila is playing the game to give it a test run. So basically, it will be a pilot game. Let's say that it'll be a pilot. We're gonna run a pilot game, and it will be for fun or whatever. And like y'all will be able to critique the game and see if y'all want to give some advice or whatever like that. Then hey, we'll go from there. But because once we start getting other bigger content creators involved, I believe we can be turning up over here with this game. So the game could get messy. And guess what? It's turning a negative into a positive and having fun. And in a sense, we're making YouTube fun again, at least over here in these neck of the woods of the Mo 3 sector, okay? Yes, we got things cooking up, but like I said, me and Danila will be testing it out on our own or whatever. Because when I say the game could be messy and it could, the contestants determine how messy the game get, is because the contestants will also be the ones who is going to give their suggestions on what to put into the game, what questions they want involved in the game. Okay. They will come up with that. They will come up with that. Okay. So yes, 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 yes. Let me go ahead and get up in here and let's go. So we have the Annie of Nazaya, which would be the Chomo baby mama with the 5 children. So this is the aunt who lived with this. This hold on, let me do it like this. This is the aunt who lived with Nazaya and her grandmother, and she had 5 children, and she is taking a stand and against her baby daddy. Okay, she taking a stand against her baby daddy. But when y'all hear some of this shit, because she knew, that's the thing, she knew. So y'all brace yourself. Make sure if y'all got y'all some if y'all need to roll up, pull up, do what y'all gotta do. Cause we here, we in this thing. We in this thing, baby. Hold on. Let me see, let me see, let me see. Been up. Oh, so I put this on mute and then turn this all the way down. Okay. Hello?
Hello?
Give me
Can we
just
just
a
a
minute,
minute?
guys. Trying to
Trying to
get it
get
together. Hello?
hello.
Push this. What about now? Okay. We in business. We in business. We in business. Okay. So we about to bring up the aunt who had 5 kids with him, and this was her baby daddy messing with her niece. Okay. So this is what we finna do. Let me go ahead and share my screen. I think this one is about 45 minutes. We're gonna watch the entirety of this. Y'all pay attention to any kind of suspicious shit if in this lady testimony. The link is pinned. If y'all need to come up here and give y'all 2 cents, y'all wanna get y'all shit off, it is here, baby. Cause we gotta protect our babies, okay?
All right, so listen up. State Farm was trying to charge me $197 for car insurance. No, thank you.
Second page. It's correct. Have a seat.
When speaking to this mic, you also pick it up holding your laptop.
Whenever you're ready, Mr. Ripley.
Thank you, Judge. Good morning. Could you please state your name for the record?
Shannon Harris.
And Ms. Harris, how old are you?
Hold on, guys. Let me run it back because it was skipping like that. Let me run it back. Let me run it back. Hey, let me run it back. Okay, I'm gonna to close that out. I think. I'm coming back. It was moving. I guess I had it sitting up there too long. So I had to close it out. And then I'm coming back with a whole nother one. Give me just a minute. I don't understand why they're doing that. It's still taking a long time to get back. See, I don't understand. Like, let me go to something else and maybe that'll do it. Okay. Because I don't understand. Like, when I go to something else, then it decides it want to do that. Why is it moving like that, guys? Hold on, guys. I'm just having some technical difficulties, guys. Give me just a minute because I don't understand why this is constantly doing this. But we finna see. Because it's like it's skipping. Something is weird about that. I don't know what that's about. People, I really don't know. Hold on. Let me try it again. I wonder do that have something to do with this live though? You know what? I think it is. I think there has there's some difficulties on their end. That's not us. Okay, it makes sense because I fast forwarded and it turned to like normal. So let me see where I can get it where right before it starts skipping and then we'll jump right into it. Give me just a minute. I gotta go cook my ground meat right quick. Okay. Let's start right there, but we'll just go ahead and skip it up a little bit. Um, share screen. I'm ready, guys. Here I come. I know I always start having technical difficulties and shit, which I just do know that I'm just now really starting to operate on this shit.
Did ZYAH ever know Jarvis through you?
Yes.
And when did ZYAH and Jarvis first meet?
Well, he was little, like age 2.
Okay, I guess it fixed itself right there.
Um, and can you kind of describe the relationship between ZYAH and Jarvis?
Should be just the uncle and the niece relationship, no more than that.
How often would Jarvis be around, like at your house with you?
He will call or say, can he come see the kids, or the kids will ask, can he see their dad? And he will come pull up either to my house where I used to live or at my mother's house.
Would ZYAH ever be around?
All the kids will be around.
To your knowledge, would ZYAH ever text Jarvis?
From my knowledge, no, unless I will have her to text.
Okay. But to your knowledge, you didn't know of any kind of separate outside relationship?
No.
Would there ever be times where, where did you know Jarvis loves to work?
Pardon?
Where did you know Jarvis loves to work?
Where did I know him to work at?
Yes.
He worked at 2 different locations. The first location would be on East Warren, and the other location would be on Bradford and Connor.
And what were those locations?
Those are the auto repair shop.
Would you ever know desire to help Jarvis Bucks at the shop?
Yes, he will call me and say, hey, if I can get our daughter and ZYAH come and work up at the shop. And I would say, let me ask my mom first regarding ZYAH.
And which daughter of yours would that be?
That would be my oldest, Janiyah.
Would you ever know desire to go to Jarvis's shop alone?
No.
If your air conditioning system looks like it belongs in a junkyard, just $39 a month with $0 down.
Whose birthday is on or around September 26th?
That's my fourth oldest birthday.
Do you recall a birthday party on September 26th of 2022?
Yes.
And was Jarvis there?
No.
Okay. And that would have been his son's birthday party?
Yes.
Jarvis is the chomo.
You would text Jarvis on the
That's her baby daddy.
Only time I would text Jarvis off of text now numbers if my phone is off. Other than that, no.
And do you recall the numbers that you would text Jarvis from?
Yes.
Okay. And does a 586-510-5161 sound familiar?
Yes.
And what number is that?
That used to be my old number.
And is that number that you would text Jarvis from?
Yes.
And what about a 586-842-4504?
That was the number before this number.
Before the 510 number?
Correct.
Okay. And is that a number you would also text Jarvis from?
Correct.
And what number did you have for Jarvis Bucks?
The 313-585-8719.
And did you have any numbers for ZYAH?
It was a funny looking area code. The area code was a 231.
Okay. I want to show you some messages from People's Exhibit 16 and ask you some questions about them, okay?
Okay.
You're in a man approach?
Yes.
I'm going to direct you to messages on or about June 27th of 2023. Do you recall those messages? Did you send any of those messages to Jarvis Bucks?
No.
Okay. And do you know, I believe there's a phone number here that's highlighted. Whose phone number do you know that to be?
Jarvis Bucks.
Okay. And you don't recall ever sending any of those messages?
No.
Okay. And now I want to direct you to messages from June 28th of 2023. How about any of these? Did you send any of these to Jarvis Bucks?
No.
What about any messages from July 2nd of 2023? Did you send any of those messages?
No.
Yeah, sissy. So the little girl was basically she finna reveal that the little girl was texting, using her phone to text him.
What about messages from August 26th, 2023? Did you send any of those to Jarvis Butts?
I'm sorry, we still receipts.
August 26th.
No, these aren't my messages.
Did Jarvis Butts ever tell you that ZYAH texted him to meet up on January 9th, 2024?
No,
Did you tell Jarvis Butts about not being able to locate ZYAH on January 9th, 2024?
yes.
And tell me, how did you tell him that?
I called him, he didn't answer. I sent him a message asking him, has he seen Tuda any whereabouts? And I said no Tuda, and he responded back, oh
I
wow.
didn't hear what you said. The last part.
Last part I had, I texted him, well, first I called him, he didn't answer. The second time I sent him a message, still no Tuda. He replied back, oh wow.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And you know what I approach?
Yes.
And just for record references, I'm showing her what's going to be proposed, People's Exhibit 48. Ms. Harris, those text messages that you just referenced, do you see those on this page?
Viewer discretion is advised, please. This will get you angry as fuck,
Yes.
okay?
And so it's fair to say you stated to Mr. Butts, well, first of all, whose phone number is this at the top?
The phone number is my old telephone number,
Okay, and who is the phone number below that?
Jarvis Butts.
Okay. And is this, I guess, do these fairly and accurately represent these two messages? 3, 4, 5, 6 messages sent between you and Mr. Butts on January 9th, 2024 through January 11th, 2024.
So why do so many homes in the US need a flooring replacement? The number one reason is not about planning or construction.
The first page is, yes, it's correct. Second page, it's correct. Yes.
Okay. And so on January 9th, like you had indicated before, you had stated that you told him that there was still no Tuda.
Correct.
Okay. And you said he responded, oh, wow.
Correct.
Okay. And on January 11th, was ZYAH still missing?
Yes.
Okay. And did you ask Mr. Butts to do something?
At this point, I just asked that if she's going to read from the text message, just admit the exhibit.
I
An
can.
issue with moving to admit?
No, Judge.
Okay.
Do these fairly and accurately represent text messages between you and your phone to Jarvis and his phone between, well, they start back earlier, some from December 3rd, 2023 through January 21st of 2024? These fairly and accurately represent text messages between
Yes.
you and your phone to Mr. Butts and his phone?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I move for the admission of People's Proposed Exhibit 48. Objection.
Thank you, be admitted.
Thank you, Judge. So on January 11th, Did you ask Mr. Butts to do something?
Yes.
And what is it that you asked him to do?
I asked him, can he share the missing flyer on his Facebook page?
Okay. And did you send him a copy of that missing flyer?
Yes.
Okay. And to backtrack just a little bit, on December 3rd, 2023, do you recall sending messages asking Mr. Butts if he needed the ZYAH for anything?
Oh, yes, I do remember.
Okay. So do you remember this text on the first page of People's Exhibit 48?
Yes, I do remember this message.
Okay. And did you send that message?
Yes.
Okay. And what did the message say?
Tilla said, do you still need her too?
Okay. And do you know what is that referring to?
It was, Tilla had asked me to contact Jarvis and see if he still needed them to clean up.
Okay. And that would be to clean up his shop?
Yes.
Okay. And to fast forward, on January 21st, 2024, you sent some messages to Mr. Butts. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. And can you read these last 3 messages?
These last 3 messages is, to be honest, these messages I seen into the inbox to you, I really don't know what to believe anymore. Stay away, Ramon, I mean it. The next message is, I don't know what to say, or Tilla is on. Says, this shit doesn't sit right with me. Call it what you want. I'm good, period. It says, this for life. Nigga, I thought about it, and you can pass it. And don't call me, no need to explain shit. I already see it.
Okay. So you were referencing some messages that you saw in Tada's inbox.
Correct.
Tell me, how did you see some messages? Well, first of all, where were these messages, where were they at?
The day of, Officer Gardner came to pick up Naziah's tablet. My mom asked me to put it on the charger. I put it on the charger. Officer Gardner, after that, Officer Gardner called and said she's on her way.
You're saying? Without saying what?
Okay, I'm sorry. The officer had called and said that they was on their way to come pick up the tablet.
Okay,
Okay, so,
sustained as far as hearsay.
yes, thank you, Judge. Okay, continue.
So before the tablet was picked up, I looked inside Tilla's tablet. She has 2 passwords that I normally know. So one of them is referenced for her brother's birthday, and the other one is referenced for my password. So I put the first password in, it didn't work. So I put the second password in. So the first thing I went to was Instagram, which I was scrolling. And I seen Jarvis Butts' Instagram page. I clicked on his page and I seen 2 messages.
Okay, and what were the messages that you saw? Who were they between, first of all?
Naziah, my niece, and Jarvis.
Okay, and what were the messages that you seen?
It was roughly 2 messages that I have seen that I can recall. States.
I'm gonna object to this as hearsay. They have not been admitted, and the messages themselves would be the evidence.
Were the messages of a sexual nature?
No.
Okay, and you said you saw 2 messages?
Yes.
Okay, did you see anything else?
It was two sent pictures, but you can't really make anything out. There wasn't nothing there, but it was the picture was sent.
Okay. What did seeing those messages, what did they cause you to do?
Well, when I see no messages, I called him and Jarvis Butts.
Okay.
Called him while he was at work, asked him, what is these messages I seen between you and my niece? And he said, what messages? So there's two particular messages that states out in this picture. And he stated that, I don't know, these messages, I told him what the messages were, and he said it was probably our children was messaging him. And I stated no, because I know how our children will text.
Okay. And reading those messages, is that what caused you to text
Mr. Butts, yes.
Mr. Butts, in that you see the messages in the inbox, you don't really know what to believe anymore?
Correct.
Okay. One second, George.
And then that's what I was gonna say. I didn't get to stop because I was sitting up here. I'm over here cooking, guys. But a little bit earlier before this, the attorney asked her, is it, a, I don't know. It was something about like that Nazaya was never. It was not coming to have Nazaya at being at his car shop alone, and that he will get them to help him out get Nazaya and one of her daughters to help him out at the shop. This is a whole car shop. These are little girls. What the hell do they need to be at a car shop for? But I digress.
So, Sharon, I want to take you back to January 9th. Were you home that day?
Yes.
Okay. And did you see Nazaya that day?
I seen her that morning, correct.
Okay. And do you remember what she was wearing at all?
Her coat and her uniform at the time. She had on some blue jeans. I don't really recall the outfit. I just know the coat she had on.
What was the coat that she had on?
She had on, it was a 90s coat with all the characters on it.
Okay. And you recall seeing her wearing that the morning of January 9th?
Correct.
And your man was already exhibit 2?
Yes.
I'm going to show you people's exhibit 2. Can you tell me, do you recognize a coat in this photo?
Yes.
And whose coat do you recognize that to be?
Nazaya's.
Okay. Now, after you when you saw Nazaya that morning, what did you do the rest of the morning?
Nothing. I was at home with my mom and my 2 children.
And do you ever leave the house at any point that day?
No. I was at the house the whole entire day.
And do you know what time Nazaya would normally get home from school?
On certain days, she will stay for after school, and then on certain days she will come home. The days she will stay for after school is 6.
And
And
baby, I never had after school programs.
Okay. And on January 9th, do you know if Nazaya had the after school program?
Yes. At that time, my mom took her out of the after school program, so she will come home directly at 3 o'clock.
Okay. And were you home at 3 o'clock?
Yes.
And did you see Nazaya come home?
No.
Okay. And did you see her come home at all the rest of the night?
No.
Okay. Did you leave at any point after 3 o'clock?
No.
Okay. Did you, yes, when Nazaya didn't come home, did that cause you to experience or feel any type of way?
It did. When she didn't come home is when my mom went to go pick up the other 2 children from the after school program. They knocked on the door and they had asked a question and said,
Objection. Sounds like you're saying.
What is that? You have a response or?
A question is a hearsay technically.
She said she said.
It's just a question.
I'm
Yeah.
just getting ready to say a question. Okay,
What was
finish
the
what you're
question?
saying.
What was the question?
the 2 children had asked me Mom said, did you,
That's the hearsay.
did
Mom-
ZYAH come home?
The hearsay is mom said.
Okay, so were you asked directly whether ZYAH came home?
So my mom was still in the car, I was inside the house. They was coming to the house, walking up to the door. When I opened the door, they asked me, Mom said, did ZYAH come home? I said, no.
Okay. And wasn't ZYAH home at all?
No.
Okay. And did you do any sort of looking for ZYAH that night?
Yes.
What did you do?
I called my twin sister. I called some of her friends that I know that stays close by. If they had seen ZYAH, heard from ZYAH and everything. And when I reached out to my sister, she said no. Her friend said no. So after that, I asked my mom, did she want me to call police? She said no, she will take it up in the morning.
Okay. Just one second.
Why in the morning and you a legal guardian and you're the grandmother and the aunt? Why y'all can't call nobody and y'all know this baby ain't known for not coming home? Why wait until the morning? Why y'all letting time get far by like that? Like, golly. I mean, that's crazy.
Shannon, did you know ZYAH to have a pair of red and black Nike shoes?
Yes.
And if I showed you a picture of them, would you be able to identify them?
Yes.
Okay. Your may I approach?
Yes.
And for the record, this is going to be from People's Proposed Exhibit 14, and it'll be picture 34. Do you recognize these shoes?
Yes, that's a pair of shoes that my mom bought for to the birthday.
Okay, thank you. Now, back on the 9th, you said your mom was going to file a police report in the morning.
Correct.
Okay, did you go with her to file a police report in the morning?
No, it was my older sister.
Okay. Did you do anything on the 10th as it relates to trying to find ZYAH?
Yes, we went out, I and some others went out to go get some pictures, made copies. We went to other stores, passed out flyers, and everything that we need to do. Like what was asked of us to do.
Okay. Since January 9th, 2024, have you seen ZYAH?
No.
Have you, since January 9th, 2024, have you heard from ZYAH?
No.
Nothing further at this time, Judge.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Harris, I also have some questions for you. You and Mr. Butts have been, or you've known him for about 12 years?
Correct.
And fair to say that you were in a dating relationship with him for most of that time?
Correct.
But towards the end, like last year, it was more off and on, fair to say?
No, it was on and off for years.
For years, okay. But you have 5 children with him?
Correct.
And this relationship that you had with him, even towards the end when it was on, it was a sexual relationship, right?
Correct.
Sometimes you go to a hotel to have sex with him,
Correct. Yes.
and that hotel was the Park Reston?
Or the SharePoint.
There's more than one.
Multiples, yes.
Okay. But one of them was the Parkrest. Said yes.
Correct.
And it says in Harper Woods
Correct.
on Harper.
Correct.
Okay. Do you know if Mr. Butts, or do you suspect that Mr. Butts has taken other women to those motels also?
Correct.
You do?
Mm.
I believe you said that you have, of your 5 children with him, 2 are girls
Yes.
and 3 are boys.
Correct.
And in January of this time, well, January 2023, you were living with your mother on Bedford, correct?
Correct.
Prior to that, were you living in Clinton Township?
Correct.
When did you leave the Clinton Township home and move to the Bedford home?
October 23.
And so there were times when you were in Clinton Township that Mr. Butts would travel out there to see the kids.
Correct.
And then when you moved to the Bedford address, he would go to the Bedford address to see the kids.
Correct.
And then the Bedford address is when ZYAH was also living there, correct?
Correct.
And I believe you just testified that on January the 9th, you were living at that house?
Correct.
And you were there during the day?
Correct.
And so were you one of the first people that realized that ZYAH did not come home when she was expected to be home?
Well, I didn't realize it until I had got a question. By the other kids had asked, did I have ZYAH came home yet, or have I seen her? And I said no.
Do you remember what time that was in the afternoon?
That was in the evening. My mom picked them up 6 o'clock.
So that was about 3 hours later than she normally should have been home?
Correct.
Was that surprising?
Yes, it was. One, we thought that she was at the after school program, but it didn't dawn on no one until my mom came back to the house and she wasn't here, or she wasn't in the car when they had got in the car.
And so when you all realized that she wasn't at school and she wasn't at home, was that surprising?
Yes.
But you didn't go to the police that night?
No.
Did she ever not return home previously?
No, this is her first time ever doing this.
Did she have friends in the neighborhood that she would go visit?
Yes.
And you said, are those the folks that you contacted to ask?
Yes.
You were just shown a pair of red and black Nike shoes, right?
Correct.
And you identified those shoes as being ZYAH's shoe. Is that correct?
Correct.
It's a shoe that looks like the shoe that ZYAH's wearing, correct?
Correct. Correct.
You can't say for sure that that exact
Yes.
shoe came from ZYAH, is that fair to say?
Correct.
And I think you testified that very rarely would you ever use text now to contact Mr. Butts.
Right.
Only if your phone was turned off.
Right.
And that was not very often.
Right.
Would ZYAH ever have access to your phone to use it?
Yes, like she would ask, hey, TT, can I see your phone? Sure, I wouldn't mind, yes.
And so would she text from that phone?
Probably, yes.
Did you ever notice any text from
No.
her on your phone?
No.
Did you ever notice if she had used your Text Now app?
No, the only time when I would notice something is say if me and Jarvis would we won't be on the same page seeing eye to eye, and I will call him and he say, why you will call me, or like why you continue to keep calling me, and I would say I haven't called you all day or in 2 days. Then I will go ask my kids like, hey, are y'all calling your dad, because I haven't called him.
And until you looked into ZYAH's Instagram account, did you ever notice anything on your phone that caused you to be concerned
No,
between ZYAH and Mr. Butts?
no,
And Mr. Butts, we said would come to the house to see his kids. He would drop them off at the house sometimes. He would take them places.
yes,
He would pick Janiyah up from there.
like he, depending on like if he will pick up the kids, if I need him to pick up the kids from the pickup or drop off spot, for school, he will do that, yeah.
And then take them either to Clinton Township when you live there, or to the Bedford Street address.
Correct.
Okay. But most times he wouldn't even come to the house, right?
He will come to the house, he will call me first before he will come.
Would he come into the house physically, or would he sit in his truck outside?
50%. He will sit in the car and wait till the kids come outside, or he will knock on the door.
Okay. Would he be in the house for any length of time?
Only if I'm inside the house.
Like he was visiting with you?
Yes.
Okay. So you never knew a time that Mr. Butts would have been alone in the house with ZYAH?
No.
You can't think of a time when he had been in the house and had gone down to the basement with her?
No.
Or any other room in the house alone?
No.
Would Mr. Butts have ever been at that house if another adult, like you or your mother, weren't there?
He will, what you said.
Salute everybody. Y'all know I love y'all. Thank you, Ken. You made me come on here and say I love y'all because you told me I shout out to the content. I'm trying to do something productive 2025, guys. Yeah, so salute to everybody that's in the building. What did I do, child? And yes, and everybody that's new that's stopping by, I sure appreciate y'all for stopping by. Y'all are more than welcome to join the Kiwi Factory family. We don't discriminate, baby. We don't discriminate. Ray Made, I believe the link is pinned at the bottom, and you're more than welcome. It's the blue StreamYard link down there. You can hit it and come on up here. King, salute to you. Yes, 2008. Salute to you. Shout out. It's no emotion. It's like she numb. It's like she numb. Like the sister of the Chomo, she had way more compassion than this lady and the grandmother, the sister. And then she had enough sense to put two and two together, because something must be off about these people. How y'all not know something going wrong? Let me drop the link again just in case. Callie, cuz is the StreamYard link pinned down there? If not, there you go. You can hit that blue StreamYard link, and you're more than welcome to come on up. I'm gonna keep rolling it, guys.
Your mother weren't there?
No, it will be me or another person.
Thank Callie.
The idea that anything was going on between Mr. Butts and ZYAH is shocking to you, right?
Correct.
You had no idea.
No.
You never noticed anything between ZYAH and Mr. Butts that made you concerned?
No.
You never saw any inappropriate behavior?
Not at all.
You didn't notice Mr. Butts paying any special attention to her?
No.
Certainly, if you had noticed that, that would have caused you concern.
Yeah, it would have raised a whole bunch of red flags.
Likely, you wouldn't have invited him into the house, correct?
Correct.
And yeah, that's absolutely right, 2008, because yesterday I made a great point too. The lady who found the baby ID card at the bus station or whatever, she even showed more compassion and had common sense to contact the police. That's a very much old lady. She catched the bus. She said that she had been stepping over this baby ID at the bus station for about 2 weeks. And something this day just told her to pick up that baby, baby ID. And she picked it up and she put her hands on the edges of it and was like, I guess she realized, because it was a high profile case, that, this was this baby's ID. She got on the bus. She informed the bus driver that she had found that baby ID, and she got to the gas station, put that baby ID inside of one of them gas station cup lids, and had them call the police at that very moment. I just love that lady. If I can go get that lady and take that lady to go play some bingo, I would, child. I just love her. But if she can call the police over in regards of this little girl missing ID, how come the family couldn't call about a whole missing child? The hell? I mean, the shit just crazy. But anyways, I digress. I digress.
You found it hard to believe even that Mr. Butts would hurt ZYAH.
But I won't know. I don't know what he will do if a person's back is up against the wall.
But the thought of that was hard for you, at least at one point, to believe, correct?
Correct.
Now, during the time that you and Mr. Butts were together, he had children with other women.
Correct.
Pretty consistently with other women.
Correct.
More than one woman.
Correct.
Some of those women you actually knew about, correct?
Correct.
They lived kind of even in the same neighborhood on the east side.
Correct.
Did you suspect that there were women that you didn't know about?
Correct.
Even one that lived, or more than one that lived over on the west side?
Correct.
You believe he was going out there to see somebody around the end of 2023, January 2024?
Correct.
Before January.
It's bitches like her that make it hard for bitches like me. This is why I can't find the man of my dreams, because it's women like her. You okay with him running around her fucking around and some more shit? Like, come on now. I mean, this just a sucker for love ass bitch here, man. This just okay. All right, I'm sorry, guys.
The 9th, you had a conversation with ZYAH about a location on Outer Drive in Belfort.
Yes.
And that was surprising to you, right?
Correct.
That's on the east side of Detroit?
Yes.
Did you end up giving her directions on how to get to that location?
Yes.
Why did you give her directions?
I was just getting out the shower and just getting myself together. She asked me, she said, "Hey, Titi," she said, "where is Belfort on a Drive?" And I told her, I said, "You know exactly where Belfort on a Drive at?" I said, "Outer Drive is right where the wine basket at." And I said, "You know where Belfort at?" And she was like, "I get Balfour and Bedford mixed up." So I said, "You already know Belfort is before Bedford." So she said, "Okay." She said, "Because we are in school and we are learning about our surroundings." So I said, "Okay." But that was the only two things that she had asked, was where was Outer Drive and Balfour at.
Does that location have any special significance to you?
No.
Do you know anybody at that location?
No, the only thing that I'm used to, I'm familiar with, is just picking up Jarvis Outer Drive in Belfort. It's just on a corner.
On a corner?
Mm-hmm.
Not at an address?
Not on the address.
When was this conversation that you had about that location? Do you recall?
This was right before ZYAH went missing.
Like how soon before? Weeks?
Maybe it was still like in that same week she went missing.
Mr. Butts didn't have to be per se.
No, he didn't.
He generally used
his female's vehicles.
Did you know Mr. Butts to park at one location and maybe walk to another to kind of try to remain undetected?
Pretty much, yes.
So would it be not out of the ordinary for you to have to pick him up at a random, or what seemed to be a random location to you?
Correct.
You lived with ZYAH for, you said, from about October until January the 9th.
Correct.
So you spent a lot of time around her?
Yes.
You knew her mannerisms?
Yes.
Her demeanor?
Yes.
Her moods?
Yes.
Did anything strike you as out of the ordinary about how she was acting at any point in time in December or January before she disappeared?
No, Nazaya, nothing has changed. Her character, none of that. She was just the same on Nazaya. Nothing was different.
Nazaya's a brother, right?
Yes,
So the older brother?
yes,
No, he had run away in 2023, is that right?
yes.
Irrelevant. If it's something that had bothered her or something that she was dealing with at the time, could cause a change in her demeanor. Okay. She did have a brother that ran away,
Correct.
and was that something that she struggled with?
She didn't like the fact that her brother was running away. Yes, she didn't like it.
Around the same time, around the time December, January, was her mother supposed to come visit, her biological mother?
Yes.
Did she end up coming to see Nazaya?
Yes.
She did. Did Nazaya seem to have some big emotions about that contact?
Yes.
Just complicated, fair to say?
Yes.
She talked to you about that?
All the time.
Did you notice anything? You said you didn't notice anything in a changing mood. So
No.
what about physically?
No.
I don't have anything else, thank you. Read it. Shit.
Did you go to the Park Crest Inn on January 9th, 2024?
No.
Fox?
No.
And fair to say, you knew of Mr. Butts having other female.
Yes.
Okay. And even some that you didn't know about.
Correct.
Okay. So would it be fair to say you don't always know, or you didn't always know what Mr. Butts was doing?
No.
You couldn't account for his whereabouts every minute of the day?
No.
Did you know him to one of those cars that he would use? Did you know him to have a white Escalade type truck?
Correct. Yes.
And you were asking questions about Outer Drive and Bell. Fair to say, from what I gathered, the only connection you have to that area is Jarvis Butts.
Correct.
Okay, so he's the only one you would associate with that area.
Correct.
And you knew Mr. Butts to have other children.
Correct.
Okay, and you knew him to clearly have gotten other women pregnant.
Correct.
And to your knowledge, were all those women adults?
To my knowledge, yes.
Did he, to you, ever hide getting another woman pregnant?
No.
Nothing for the rich.
You were going to testify?
My other phone went dead, guys, because y'all know I'm over here cooking. If I missed anybody that came, hit the link or whatever, feel free to come back up. I don't believe this is I know this is not the end of this whole ordeal. So I'm looking for, um, give me a minute. Cause I don't think, I know a lot of stuff was missed out of it. Oh, his internet history. This is where we at with it right here. Internet history. This is what it was, guys. So this motherfucker was looking up for people shit. Feel free to hit the link if y'all.
You want, and then you'll see how much you'll be paying.
So y'all are more than welcome.
The next page is, includes searches that I located inside that, Google return that we received from Google.
And that, John, Fairly and I talked about this. What did you receive back from Google as like the search warrant or Jarvis West to gmail.com?
Yeah.
Division of people proposing to live in. Give me your objection.
No objection.
Moving minutes, 63. Okay, and I want to go back to the first page. Diagram.
So it has a Google account ID number, then it gives the name that says Jarvis Butts. It has an email address, jarvisbutts82@gmail.com. There's also a, phone number that's connected to it, which is 313-585-8719.
And is there a birthday associated with that?
Yeah, November 21st, 1982.
And moving on to the searches, what dates do those searches encompass?
These searches are December 9th.
Of what year?
Yeah, December 9th, 10th, and 11th of 2023.
Okay, and it's fair to say that those are the entirety of all of the searches from those days.
It is not all of them,
Okay.
no.
Those are just select ones from the Google return.
Yeah,
All right. Starting with December 9th, tell me which ones that we have in that exhibit.
so the first, do you want me to read the ones that are just highlighted, or you want me to start at the top of here? Oh.
Just start with the ones that are highlighted.
Yeah, so this search was December 9th, 2023 at 3:32 UTC time. So you would actually have to subtract 5 hours. Would make it the night of December 8th. And the site is, what's visited, it's Drink Me and Abort Your Baby, the Herbal Abortion Tea by Maya.
Okay. And what about the next one after that?
There is a site that's visited on December, it says here December 10th, 2023 at 9:32 p.m. UTC, so -5. And the site visited is plannedparenthood.org/learn/abortion/the abortion pill.
And
Next,
yes, the next
the
one.
next search is immediately after that, so December 10th at 9:32 p.m. UTC, the abortion pill, get the facts about medication abortion. There is a search that was conducted before that on December 10th, 2023 at 9:31 p.m. UTC. And that site is plannedparenthood.org /blog/ can I use herbs to have an abortion at home?
And
The next one is December 10th, 2023 at 9:31 p.m. UTC. Can I use herbs to have an abortion at home? Planned Parenthood.
And the next one.
The next one is December 10th, 2023 at 9:36 p.m. UTC. So again, minus 5 hours. And that site is, it's ANSIRH.org, research over-counter medication abortion. Search December 10th, 2023 at 9:36 p.m. Over-the-counter medication abortion, and that's from that same place before, ANSIRH. December 10th, 2023 at 9:32. Planned Parenthood, abortion, the abortion pill. How do I have an abortion using only misoprostol, misoprostol. The next search, December 10th, 2023 at 9:32. Planned Parenthood, learn abortion, the abortion pill. So it's like the same, back and forth to the same site. On December 11th at 11:43 p.m. UTC, so minus 5 hours, specifically as searched is, can I drink red antifreeze? Again, that same item is searched again right after the same time, 11:43 on December 11th, 2023. And I believe that's it.
And I'm telling you, you will definitely see deposits. You will definitely get checks.
And I was skeptical in the beginning too, but
as far as Fisher, I agree with the people that this case is distinguishable. This is a case regarding a trial. And the one thing I had highlighted in pink was the quote, in this case, there was no physical evidence such as blood stains or a weapon leaking defendant to Joyce's death. In this case, we don't have the same facts or circumstances. I do agree, this is a circumstantial case, and circumstantial evidence is sufficient for a bind over and even conviction. Today is January 9th, 2025, exactly 1 year, excuse me, from the day that ZYAH Harris disappeared. Before I get into the charges, and the main charge of premeditated first-degree murder, I have to speak on the ZYAH Harris and the community who failed her. And I'm only presented with certain evidence. I don't know the whole story. The attorneys know more than me, the family knows more than me. But from what I have heard over the last 4 days and 5 days total, is that several people failed her. I don't know where her mother is. I don't know anything other than that she was forced to live in a home where she was not protected or given the adequate attention and love. I don't know where her father is. I don't have any mention of him in her life, no presence. To Cordell, AKA King, and all the men who saw Jarvis Butts hanging out and always around these young girls, including ZYAH, and his 9-year-old daughter going up to the shop to clean up his shop. The school counselor who never showed up, or the person who was supposed to show up if that counselor was absent, after ZYAH was on the floor on the day she went missing, saying that she needed to speak to someone and speak to a counselor. There's no mention of CPS, but I wonder what their involvement was over the years, because this was not just a 1-year thing. There are text messages at least from 2022. To her adoptive grandmother, Annette Harris, whose testimony, in my opinion, was very questionable. I understand why the people put her on the stand to establish ZYAH's residence and the houses on Bedford and the regular routine, to establish also that ZYAH was not a runaway child, that she was not a bad kid. I do believe she adopted ZYAH. I do believe that she had 6 kids in the house. I believe that ZYAH had on a dark hoodie the day she went missing, and that she had on red and black Nikes that day. What is hard to believe is that the defendant never came into the house as she testified. And there was also a minor that testified that he did as well. Text messages that showed between him and ZYAH that he did in the basement, saying he was going to the shower, stealing her panties. He was always lurking around that house and asking for Janiyah and ZYAH, from what I know. I even thought about the breakfast routine and saying that all the kids like eating breakfast at school. Did they have a choice? I don't know. But to always send those girls up there to clean up the shop raises questions. And how were there 2 women in that house who have birthed children themselves who did not notice that ZYAH was pregnant, and I believe she was, and not having her period anymore? But then after hearing text messages today, begging Jarvis for pads as if she didn't have anyone else to give them for her. And what stood out the most was when Annette Harris stood on the stand, and she learned around 6 p.m. that ZYAH did not come home from school, and said she looked around for her and decided to wait until the next morning to call the police. Without a tear, without emotion, or any expression of being devastated. And to her Aunt Shannon, who also showed no emotion, expression of being devastated from ZYAH going missing. She stated that she had friends help look for ZYAH, but was directed to just wait until the morning to call the police. A grown woman who likely suspected something strange going on didn't feel the need to call the police either. They were both able to go to sleep at night without hearing from ZYAH or having any indication that she was coming home that night. And of course, the defendant, who I will get to in a minute. I don't know who else failed ZYAH, but the community did.
Paying your bills on time raises your credit score, right? Wrong. In fact, this is one of the 3 major credit score lies you're being told by the big credit companies. All for...
As far as the people establishing probable cause, I will focus on count 1, as it's been stated that there is no contention with counts 2 and 3. In count 3, I will amend based off of the motion and the testimony I heard that ZYAH was 12 and not 13 at the time that Jarvis Butts had sexual intercourse with her. The prosecution is correct. You do not have to have a body to establish first-degree premeditated murder. It would have been a much shorter exam had her body been found, but this is where we are. In the last 365 days, no text messages. We all heard today and yesterday that she was very active and frequently texting. No social media for a year. We heard through testimony that she was also active on social media. No phone calls, which she was also able to do according to testimony. No physical sighting of her by anyone. She never came back to school. No one has seen her. Medical records dated from July 2014 to October 2023 indicated that she had no life-threatening medical issues that would lead to a natural cause of death. The black hoodie found in the area of 7 Mile and Word with her DNA and blood on it. The holes in the hoodie consistent with some sort of struggle, violence, or weapon being used. And we know that there were no holes in that hoodie when she wore it to school. We saw a picture of her in a black hoodie on her last day that everyone saw her. I do believe her grandma testified truthfully about the sweatshirt that she had on and that it was practically new. And the border agent who said that no evidence of animals would have destroyed the clothing or the shoes to possibly lead to animals tearing up that hoodie. The clear glasses found in the blue Nissan the day after she went missing. The behavior of the defendant when he snatched those glasses. They looked exactly like the glasses she had on in her last picture, according to the witness. The shoes that her brother described as the same shoes that were found also in the area of 7 Mountainsburg, near the hoodie. While this is still probable cause, the evidence all points to Jarvis Butts. His locations, him being seen with her last, the abortion searches, the abrupt silence between the two of them in text messages, and the constant lies he told throughout the entire investigation. And they were proven to be lies with text messages and other testimony. We may never know what happened, but from what I heard today and over the last 4 or 5 days, it appears he intended to perform what he thought was a do-it-yourself abortion on the ZYAH, then went south, and instead of seeking medical attention for her, he intentionally killed her and tried his best to cover it up. As much as I want her to be alive today, there is at least probable cause to show and believe that she's dead and that she was murdered by Jarvis Butts. Mr. Butts, stand up. You've been sitting over there for 4 days with your head down, hidden between and behind your attorneys, with your mask on, and taking vigorous notes. I want you to pay attention and listen to everything I have to say. I have been trying to figure out for the last 5 days, you. At one point, I thought you were cognitively impaired in the beginning of this exam. And then maybe you had the brain of a 10-year-old, and that's why you were doing such things. But as I heard more and more testimony, you're just a true definition of a pedophile. Watching you laugh and brag about all the women you have with different women and the children and the girlfriends, and making babies to groom them and having them in your presence, cleaning up your shop, and the little girls around you, has landed you here today. You groomed ZYAH. You played mind games with her. We all heard that. You controlled her emotionally. She was exposed to so much at such a young age. The text messages between you two were disgusting to hear. And to think that she had you saved in her phone as babe for life. ZYAH deserves so much more. And while I mentioned other people that failed her, Jarvis Butts, you were the monster in this whole picture. She did deserve love from her parents and everyone who was in her life. She was ignored, she was neglected, and you took complete advantage of that. She wanted someone to love her, and she will never know what that feels like. Your children deserve more. As much as defense counsel has raised issues on count 1, all it has done is raise the question of fact for the trier of fact, which means that this will be for a jury or judge to hear at 3rd Circuit. I pray for the healing of all the victims and the young girls and possibly boys who have come into contact with you. As a community, we should look at this case as a prime example of how much work we have to do when it comes to protecting our children and especially our Black girls. I pray for closure and healing for all those who have been traumatized by you. And for you, Jarvis Butts, I wish you a speedy trial and that justice be delivered. Your bind over date is January 16th at 9:05 a.m. Anything else for the record?
No, for the people, Judge. Thank you.
Oh, they just read him his motherfucking song. Sure did. Look at him. Pathetic bitch. Hold on.
Sorry, Judge. Just kill it, Jarvis. Where is she at, Jarvis? Just tell us.
Who is that?
Judge, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to disrespect your court.
You all can turn off the camera, please. As well as
you gotta put your elbows,
elbows
right here. And you push your hands.
This bitch refused to tell these people where they goddamn baby at. Ain't that crazy? Where was all this out there? Then y'all want to be all up in there crying and shit now. Where the fuck was y'all at? What was this energy when the motherfucking girl was gone? The shit starting to get on my goddamn nerves, man. I can't believe that sick bastard. See, she was speaking about stuff about like how they would talk. I think that's very important in this situation. He a monster. He a monster. He a whole monster bitch. Hold on. Sat there and motherfucking did that little girl like that. And then you want to be coward and not tell these people where their baby is. Not that they truly give a damn. You get what I'm saying? Okay, here you go being interviewed. Let's see what this one is about. This shit's sad. It's sad.
2022 when she was just 11 years old. She was pregnant when she was killed, and Butts was allegedly the unborn child's father. I'm going to get you back into that courtroom. We're watching the police interrogation of Jarvis Butts. Detectives are questioning him about his text messages and his last interaction with the victim. Let's listen in.
No, they don't care. Do all that crying and
What's her middle name? You know about when that picture might have been taken or where? Did she look like that last time you saw her? What she look like the last time you saw her? Any coloring grade?
this shit don't sound good. I don't know. I can't really hear that one that good, y'all. Let me go find something else. Hey, Snoopy baby, how you doing? I hope all is well. I hope all is well. But yeah, 2008, they didn't care. People did not care. Now y'all want to, where's she at? Where's she at? Why y'all wasn't calling, screaming and crying about this shit when she was missing? Where's she at? And crying and some more shit. So sick of these people, man. Them people definitely seem like the child that would sit, the people that would sit up there and let their daughters sit in grown ass men laps and play in men faces and shit like that. It's very much given. I need to get the messages. Okay. Hold on. We watched a sister yesterday. I don't know why the whole testimony's not coming out on her. Because for some reason, the whole testimonies ain't out on her. Because we didn't hear about what the sister, what them, the sister said had something to say about, she was being Something, hold on, I don't know why all the testimony ain't, hold on guys, let me see. Trying to get us right. Oh, King, you still in the building? Here it is. Let's see. The full trial. What would the full trial be? Because some of this shit just not giving. It's like all of this shit has been. Okay, this will be the inappropriate messages, guys. Let's get here. Let me present. Share screen. Full thing. Right there. Share.
With with your mother? Okay, who's your mom? And then Harris. And without telling me the exact address, what street did you live on? And do you have any children? Yes. Do you ever know desire to help drug folks at his shop? Yes. We will call me and say, hey, if I can get our daughter and ZYAH.
Hold on, guys. My goddamn laptop done went out on y'all. I'm always fucking up, ain't I? I'm sorry. Okay, I'm about to get my shit together. Hold on. I ain't shit. Okay, I'm about to get my shit together, guys. Just give me a moment. Okay, so that was that one, but I wanted to be closer up in the bitch face. That's why I didn't show that one, because I wanted to be more up in their face so y'all can, we can decipher these goddamn messages. So we can dissect these messages this sick bitch was having with this little ass girl. It make you wonder, like, what happened? Like, give me just a minute, guys. It's coming back on now. Give me a minute. Okay, I'm bringing the other laptop back in. My shit definitely went out on my ass, guys.
Shop. And I would say, let me ask my mom first, regarding ZYAH. And which daughter of yours would that be? That would be my oldest, ZYAH. Would you ever know ZYAH to go to Jarvis's shop alone? No. Whose birthday is on or around September of 26th? That's my oldest, my fourth oldest birthday. Do you recall a birthday party on September 26th of 2022? Yes. And yes. And so it's fair to say you stated to Mr. Boss, first of all, whose phone number is this at the top?
Okay. I think
the tablet. Okay. So it's the same. Yeah, thank you, Judge. Okay, continue. So the tablet, before the tablet was picked up, I looked inside to the tablet. She has two passwords that I normally know. So one
from ZYAH.
no.
I think we're going to sign, Judge.
Thank you, Judge. We're just showing a pair of red and black Nike shoes, right? Right. And you identified those shoes as being ZYAH's shoes. Is that correct?
Correct.
It's a shoe that looks like the shoe that ZYAH is wearing, right?
Correct.
You can say for sure that that exact shoe came from ZYAH. Is that fair to say?
Correct.
And I think you testified that very rarely would you ever use text now to contact Mr. Butts.
Right.
Only if your phone was turned off.
Right.
And that was not very often.
Right.
Hold on, guys. I'm trying to. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to find a better. Find these goddamn messages, but I guess it's only that one. That's the history of that. Hold on, guys. I think we might have to stick to that one, that Zoom one, but I didn't want that one. Okay, well, it would be this one then. This one is a good one. Okay, this will be the messages. It say, Naziah Harris, lead investigator reveals explosive text messages in court. So this will be the one we need to look at, guys, I believe. Is it gonna play? Okay. This is where we need to be. This is where we need to be. We need to know what the fuck was going on. Yeah, if y'all haven't already, make sure y'all smash up on the like button. The blue StreamYard link is at the bottom. It's the blue StreamYard link if you decide you want to come up and give your 2 cents, okay?
When you first officially received this case, I mean, what is it that you do right off the bat?
So this case was a little different because we kind of had to go back. We were already a month behind. She went missing January 9th, and now it's February 12th. We start kind of looking into what has already been done and then what steps I would normally take moving forward.
Okay. So what kind of steps do you take moving forward?
So once I reviewed the case, and it was determined that the last person that had contact with ZYAH was Jarvis Buds, I then started to look into his phone records, his activity, places that he had been. On the 12th, we had determined there was already an analyst that had looked at different records and given us a location out in Ypsilanti. So I coordinated a search for the very next day on February 13th. We went out to Ypsilanti. We conducted the search. It's a large area and it wasn't pinpointed down to a specific house. There was a lot of wooded area over there. We had multiple teams out there. There was probably over 60 people at one point. We then started going into different businesses to look for different video that we may be able to recover close to the intersection that we believed would be a good starting point in that search area.
Them phones don't get your ass every time.
were you able to recover anything or find anything from the Ypsilanti area?
We did find some video that was eventually pulled from a gas station.
And what was, I guess, the condition of that video?
So the video was from a gas station. It shows the intersection, I believe it's Michigan and Carpenter, which is actually, I think that is like a Springfield township. It's kind of like a little small city just outside of the county. At that point, we didn't know exactly what we're looking for, so we just kind of pulled like the window that we knew the devices were out there, specifically Jarvis Butt's device that was out there. So we kind of just pull all of that video before we lose it. And then as we gather more information, we can kind of go back and look at the video to see if there's something now that we can focus in on what we should look for.
Okay. Now that brings up a good point. You said you're a month behind on this investigation.
Yes.
So that fair to say being a month behind would cause you to potentially lose critical pieces of evidence.
Yes.
Okay. And some of those pieces of evidence, fair to say, could be videos.
Correct.
Okay. Why would it be that you would be losing those videos?
So most video systems and every business is different. You got green light, you have businesses and people that have their own residential cameras or property cameras. And it'll vary. Some of them start overwriting in 48 hours. Some of them is a week. Some may last up to a month. It just depends on how large their system is and how much data it can hold.
And is that a struggle that you encountered in this case?
Yes.
Okay. And where is it that you encountered that?
So there's several cameras and videos throughout the entire route of travel that later in the investigation we were able to identify. But as we identified those locations and went to see if video was still able to be there, it had already been overwritten or was not available.
Now I want to take you back. You did the search in Ypsilanti. Did you do any other searches kind of immediately at that time?
Yes.
Tell me about one of them. We're going to go through them, but start with one of them.
Okay. So after we didn't find anything in Ypsilanti, I kind of got to go backwards a little bit and go back to who we had known was the last contact with her, which was Mr. Butts. So we did a search warrant for his home. Later, I believe it was like later that night, 13th into the 14th, we had kind of worked all the way through. We did a search warrant to obtain his cell phone so we could try to do an extraction. We contacted the jail to look through his property. There was no cell phone in the property. We then ordered the jail calls to see if there was any conversations, anybody that he had talked to. We knew that he had turned himself in on February 7th. As we started to listen to those jail calls, there was a call where he had asked his shop partner, Cordell Wright, to retrieve a phone out of a vehicle. We then went and picked up Mr. Wright and brought him down to our headquarters to talk to him about the cell phone. He did confirm and he acknowledged the phone call. He said that vehicle came up there was a Tahoe, Tashi's vehicle, Tashiana, and that he had looked in the back seat and tried to find where the phone was that Mr. Butts kind of described where he had hid it in this vehicle. He said that he was unable to locate it. So at that point, we then did a workup on Tashiana to find out where she lived, what type of vehicle she had. It matched the description that he kind of described. We did a search warrant for her home in an attempt to locate the cellular device and any other possible evidence that may help us and direct us to where ZYAH is.
Okay. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit. You started off with you went to the search warrant at Mr. Butt's home.
Yes.
And would that be the one out of Wilshire?
Yes.
Okay. And did you find anything at his house?
Yes.
And what is it that you found?
So from this home, we had recovered, there were some electronic devices. We recovered some phones, maybe a tablet. And we recovered his ID, wallet, and a firearm that was with his wallet. I believe there was 2 actual firearms, and then there was a long gun, a rifle that was in the closet.
And did that search warrant include a vehicle?
Yes.
And what kind of vehicle did it include?
It included all vehicles that we believe may be associated. At that time, we impounded a Cadillac Escalade.
Now, you said at that point you knew that Mr. Butts had turned himself in to, is it the Wayne County Jail?
Yes.
And is that was back on February 7th of 2024?
Correct.
And at that time, did you know how long he was serving a sentence for?
We had got information that he was possibly going to be there till December.
Okay. And that would be completely unrelated to, that sentence is completely unrelated to your investigation?
Yes.
Okay. And then you said that you had pulled some jail calls, and that's what led you to Cordell Wright.
Correct.
And that that jail call that you had listened to, that was previously admitted as People's Exhibit 1?
Yes.
Okay. And that led you to Tashiana Davis.
Correct.
And then you subsequently executed a search warrant at her house.
Correct.
And is that on Neff Street?
Yes.
Okay. And she had a vehicle there that matched the description that Cordell Wright had given you?
Yes.
Okay, and would that have been a Chevy Suburban?
Yes.
Okay, and then you subsequently searched that vehicle?
Yes.
And what is it that you found in that vehicle?
I found in that vehicle a iPhone 11, and it was in the exact area that Mr. Butts had described to his shop partner Cordell, where it would be located.
Okay. And that phone, okay, so ultimately, after you do that, what's the next step that you took?
Well, we had identified that was the actual correct phone. It was in the right place, but we still needed to get it to our headquarters and download it. We had the phone there. We made a call to 911 from that phone in order to see what the identification number was to try to verify, so we weren't just taking random phones. It did come back to Jarvis Butts' phone number that we were looking for.
Oh, wow. They got a way to break your ass down. They know how to catch a crime, baby.
After that?
So after that, the phone now is getting processed under the search warrant.
Okay.
It is given to, I was given to Detective Markle, where she processed that. We then continued, we had searched the residence on Wilshire, we had searched Neff, we also executed a search warrant at 9000 Connor.
And what's 9000 Connor?
9000 Connor is the location that was identified that Jarvis Butts worked at with his shop partner.
Okay. And did you find anything or anything at 9000 Connor?
We did take some things as evidence. There was a lot of activity going on, so I had multiple different units from within our homicide squad assisting me with different search warrants that we were executing. I believe it was the Northeast squad actually executed the Connor location search warrant. They were advised of some items to look for, obviously children's clothing. We had been given a description of a Rugrats jacket with a fur hood. We were given the clothing description. At that time, we were told that the shoes were possibly blue and white Nike shoes that we had been looking for. There was an area in the shop, as I review the evidence, photos where there's like children's coloring books and maybe things that when the children are there that they're using.
Were any interviews besides the one with Cordell Wright taking place at this time?
So at that time, I had interviewed, when we went to Wilshire, we had interviewed the woman that he lives with. I don't know if that's a fiance or girlfriend, but that was Miss Angel. We interviewed her there. Tashiana was in the hospital when we had executed the search warrant at her house. I had had a conversation with her on the phone while we were there. Her children were there. I scheduled an interview for her later. I believe it might have been like the next day or two later that she came down to headquarters. We had interviewed Cordell at that time. And now we're just kind of going through everything that we had at that moment to try to take the next steps.
Okay. When about is Mr. Butts interviewed for the first time?
So he was interviewed, we got it, looked at it on the 12th, the 13th, we executed all the search warrants. On the 14th, Mr. Butts, I believe it was the 14th, he was brought down to headquarters, or the 15th. I would have to look.
Okay, and that's okay. So it should be just a couple days after you get the case.
Yes.
Okay. Now, based on Mr. Butt's first interview, which your Detective Mays here testify about, did you do anything based off of that interview?
So based on that interview, we had obtained the text now, which was turned over to us from DPS, which was the initial, I believe it was like maybe 1 week's worth of text now. So like the very end of December into the 1st of January. So during that interview was when it was asked by Detective Mays and Detective Johnson regarding the text message about needing to be picked up.
Okay. Now, if you know, can you estimate about how many search warrants did you execute?
Probably over 20. And throughout the entire, it has to be over 20.
And what kind of searches were done in this case in general?
So we searched as far as like land searches.
All kinds.
All kinds. Well, we searched Ypsilanti as we did our workup, and we're looking at different locations that Mr. Butts had been to. We identified an area out in Clinton Township that he had gone out to back and forth before. And that was an area that Shannon Harris, his child's mother, had lived at. So this was kind of like a route out there, and we located, there was like a big retention pond out there. So that was another place that we had dive teams come out. We had the helicopter, the cadaver dogs, and we searched out in Clinton Township. As we start breaking down the phone mapping a little bit more on Mr. Butt's phone, it kind of led us to 7 Mile and Berg.
And what's out in 7 Mile and Berg?
So 7 Mile and Berg, there is a vacant parking lot on the southwest corner. It used to be a golf course. So the entire south side of 7 Mile from Berg and then heading back east used to be a golf course, which is now shut down. And then on the other side of Berg, there's a parking lot where it has like a vacant building, which used to be the clubhouse for the golf club. And then right behind that parking lot is the Rouge River.
And when's the first time that you get out to 7 Mile and Berg?
We went out once. It was probably maybe a couple weeks later that we went out there. We went out there once, and I remember it snowed. So when we went out there, it wasn't as easy to search. We're kind of looking if somebody was just placed out there or if something was easily identifiable, but because of the snow, we knew that we were going to have to come back again once that melted because it'd be easier to see underneath.
Okay. And so do you go out there again?
Yeah, we've been out there multiple times. I've probably been out there 7, 8 times, all with various dive teams. We searched the complete river from 8 Mile all the way down past 96 on foot with cadaver dogs, in boats, in the water. There's several log jams. We had state police actually had their helicopter fly the entire route so we could GPS all the log jams. We had to coordinate with specialized teams to come in to help cut these log jams apart, which go throughout the river. And then throughout the season, obviously we had some rain, so the water goes up and down, which now brings the debris onto the land. So you have to actually search the land a couple 100 feet in some places that the water has pulled debris. We searched the homes, as I said, searched the vehicles.
So when you're out there at 7 Mile and Berg, do you have an idea of what you're looking for?
Yes.
Okay. And what was the idea of what you're looking for?
So initially when we were out there, again, we had the clothing description. We had the picture of her that she had sent that night or that day that she was missing on the 9th. So we were looking for the black hoodie. We were looking for, again, initially we were told blue and white gym shoes.
Now, is there a time where that changes?
Yes.
Okay. And what is it that makes that change?
So as we go out to areas and search, when we leave, a lot of times large community groups may go out there, right? And they saw that we were at Sevenenberg, and I know people come out there to help. There was a group that had been out there and they were recording and they saw a pair of Nike shoes, which were the red and black. We were alerted of those on our initial search. It's documented in our river search report. But because we weren't focused on the red and black and we were looking for blue and white Nike shoes, we left them there, but we did GPS the coordinates.
Stop you right there. That would have been Border Patrol Agent Wyatt Barnes.
Yes.
Okay, you heard his testimony.
Yes.
All right. So continue.
Yeah. So on our initial search, we knew they were out there. The pink hoodie was identified, but we didn't collect them because again, we didn't have anything about a pink hoodie or a pink onesie. And the shoes weren't matching. And there's a lot of clothing out there. There's a lot of shoes out there. There's people's clothes. There's all type of debris. So I can't collect every single piece of clothing and article that we find. Later, I get the information that as the search team is out there, they had called 911 because they saw these shoes. And they posted a picture of these shoes somewhere or sent it to ZYAH's brother. ZYAH's brother then reached out to me and he sent me a picture of ZYAH wearing the black and white Nike shoes.
Okay.
Once I saw she had the exact same shoes on that are depicted, that were described out there, I knew immediately where to go. I gathered a couple members of my team and we immediately went back out to where the shoes were GPS located and recovered the shoes. As we were there, that's when we found the black hoodie. And then the pink jumpsuit that had been laid out by Agent Wyatt.
Okay. Now, as it relates to those red and black Nike shoes, you had a photo that they were associated with ZYAH in some way. Did you ever end up asking Annette to see if those shoes were still in ZYAH's possessions?
Yes.
Okay. And did you ever end up recovering those pairs from Annette?
No.
So after you recover the pink jumpsuit, the black hoodie, the shoes, what do you do with them?
Those are all, well, the evidence techs collect them. They're placed on evidence. Those items were wet, so I had to wait, obviously, for them to dry. Once they're ready to be processed and they're finished drying, then I create a lab report. And items are selected and turned over to the state police lab for processing to look for any type of DNA evidence.
Okay, so once those are placed on evidence by the lab tech, you're the one who then submits them to Michigan State Police?
Yes.
Okay.
There may be some of the lab reports where I had gathered the evidence and one of my partners had gone down and physically took the items to the lab, which is all in the same building.
Okay. Now, I believe you said at least one time when you were out at 7 Mile and Berg that it had been snowing. Were you at all, I guess, familiar with kind of the weather back let's start with back in January 9th.
Yeah, so I searched it. There's a weather site where you can search the dates and the cities and what the weather was like. On the 9th into the 10th, it had rained here. If you remember, we had a very mild winter. In 2024, the January months, we had a lot of rain that month, which would have caused, the water levels to rise.
Now, is there, did you interview a Tijuana bus?
Yes.
Tell me how that came about.
Tijuana actually reached out to me. Shannon Harris had reached out to me. She had had a conversation with Tijuana. She asked if it was okay for her to give her my phone number. I told her that that was fine. She gave me a call. She said that she was the sister of Jarvis Butts and that she was concerned that she may have seen the ZYAH but wasn't sure on the date and if she could come down and talk.
Okay, and that's all what she had testified to that you had heard?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when you also heard that she had given Detroit police consent to look at her phone locations and perform a phone extraction.
Yes.
And that Detective Sarah Markle is actually the one who performed that extraction.
Yes.
Okay. Did you yourself look at the phone location data that was on Tijuana's phone?
Yes, so even before we extracted the phone, when she was in there in the interview, she had given me consent to look at her phone. She wasn't quite sure how to get to the locations. She had Google on her phone. So we went to the Google Maps, went to her timeline, and then specifically clicked on January 9th to see if it showed her route. When we got to the January 9th date, it was confirmed that that is the date that she was at 9,000 Connor. And it helped us with the timeline of when she was there compared to when we know Mr. Butts left that location to head out to Ypsilanti on the 9th.
They sure got their ways of catching the criminals, baby. I ain't mad at them.
Exhibit 85.
Yes.
I mean 58. Sorry, numbers. And it's marked as exhibit 58. Can you look at that and tell me if you recognize it?
Yes, this is a cell-bright extraction report that was conducted by Detective Markle for Tijuana Butts cellular device.
Okay, and that report specifically includes the location data in the subsequent pages as it relates to the Butts call. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay, and is that a fair and accurate depiction of the screenshot photo locations location data from Tijuana Butts' phone that you observed that the day when you interviewed him?
Yes.
And with the admission people supposed to the 58.
No objection.
Yes, equals 58.
And I want to direct you to I guess it's going to be page 3 of the report, 4 of the report. Page 5. Where does it say that Ms. Butts was from 3:45 p.m. to 5:16 p.m.?
So it gives the location described, it's on here, it says Citgo, and it gives the address of 9,000 Connor Street, Detroit, Michigan, 48213.
And do you know whether he knows Mr. Butts's 9,000 Connor auto shop to be connected with the gas station?
Yes.
Okay. Now, to go back just a little bit, you said we were kind of going through all of the phone mapping in order to kind of backtrack as to, you know, where your investigation goes and where you should search.
Yes,
And those maps were testified to by Sergeant O'Rourke.
yes,
Okay. Now, she mapped certain locations, and she believes she stated that you had given her some of those locations to map.
correct.
Okay. Now, I want to direct you to in People's Exhibits 33, 34. Here, may I go? The blue dot here. What is it that indicates, and what is the importance of that?
This blue dot is gonna be 9,000 Commer.
And that's the address associated with Mr. Buck's auto shop.
Yes,
And is that the same for Exhibit 34?
yes,
And Exhibit 35, there's the same blue dot and then a purple dot. Tell me, what is the significance of the purple dot?
the purple dot is gonna be the residence that Mr. Butts resides at on Wilshire.
And in Exhibit 36, on page 2, there's like another, it's like a pinkish kind of purple dot. Can you tell me what is, oh, I'm sorry, red dot. What does the red dot indicate?
The red dot is gonna identify 20,000 Harper, which was the Park Crest Motel.
2, there's like another, it's like a pinkish kind of purple dot. Can you tell me what is, oh, I'm sorry, red dot. What does the red dot indicate?
The red dot is gonna identify 20,000 Harper, which was the Park Crest Motel.
And on page 4 of 4, there is a lighter purple dot along with that red dot. What does the purple dot indicate?
That dot is gonna indicate 4 East Alexandrine.
Okay, and what's the significance of 4 East Alexandrine?
Mr. Butts has a different girlfriend that lives at that location.
And in People's 38, there's a red dot. Which dot is that?
That would identify 7 Mile and Berg.
And is that the same 7 Mile and Berg? You tell me. What was found at 7 Mile and Berg area again?
7 Mile and Berg area is where we identified the hoodie, the pink jumpsuit, and the shoes. And it's also the area that Mr. Butt's phone was mapping with. There's an additional search area that I did not include when she had asked me before. And that was where the ID was found. We had found the ID or received the 911 call for the ID before we went back the second time out for the shoes at 7 Mile and Berg. So we had also searched all of Evergreen. There's the Henry Ford High School over there. We searched behind the school, the wooded areas, and all the vacant homes in that surrounding as well.
And that would have been the ID that Miss Smith had recovered.
Yes.
Now I want to go into, you had a chance to go through Mr. Butt's phone extraction, is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. And did you also do a search warrant as it relates to a Google account for Mr. Butts?
Yes.
Okay. And how was it that you knew what his Google Gmail was?
That was documented when I went to the cell phone.
Okay. And you had a chance to go through, you sent a search warrant to Google for it, right?
Yes.
Okay, and you got a chance to go through that search warrant return?
Yes.
Okay, and that's the search, or that's the Gmail account that would be associated with Mr. Butts.
Correct.
And everybody had proposed exhibit 63?
Yes.
And you Marcia, people proposed exhibit 63. Can you tell me, do you recognize what it is I just handed you?
Yes, this contains jarvisbutts82@gmail.com, which was his Google subscriber information.
And that's the first page. And the second page is, what would those include?
The next pages include searches that I located inside that Google return that we received from Google.
Okay. And does that document fairly and accurately depict what it is you received back from Google as it relates to a search warrant for jarvisbutts82@gmail.com?
Yes.
And I move for the admission of people's proposed exhibit. I forgot. 63.
Any objection?
No objection.
It'll be a minute as people 63.
Okay, I want to go back to the first page, and with the subscriber information. Tell me, who is the subscriber?
So it has a Google account ID number, then it gives a name that says Jarvis Butts. It has an email address, jarvisbutts82@gmail.com. There's also a phone number that's connected to it, which is 313-585-8719.
And is there a birthday associated with that?
Yes, November 21st, 1982.
And moving on to the searches, what dates do those searches encompass?
These searches are December 9th.
Of what year?
Yeah, December 9th, 10th, and 11th of 2023.
Okay, and it's fair to say that those are the entirety of all of the searches from those days.
It is not all of them,
Okay.
no.
Those are just select ones from the Google return.
Yes.
All right. Starting with December 9th, tell me which ones that we have in that exhibit.
So the first, do you want me to read the ones that are just highlighted, or you want me to start at the top of here? So.
The ones that are highlighted.
Okay.
Just start with the ones that are highlighted.
Yeah, so this search was December 9th, 2023 at 3:32 UTC time. So you would actually have to subtract 5 hours, which would make it the night of December 8th. And the site is, what's visited, it's Drink Me and Abort Your Baby, the Herbal Abortion Tea by Maya.
Okay. And what about the next one after that?
There is a site that's visited on December, it says here December 10th, 2023 at 9:32 p.m. UTC, so -5. And the site visited is plannedparenthood.org/learn/abortion/the abortion pill.
And
next,
yes, the next
the
one.
next search is immediately after that, so December 10th at 9:32 p.m. UTC, the abortion pill, get the facts about medication abortion. There is a search that was conducted before that on December 10th, 2023 at 9:31 p.m. UTC. And that site is plannedparenthood.org /blog/ can I use herbs to have an abortion at home?
Okay, I think we already covered that part. I don't want to revisit what we already went over.
Go through, and I know you had mentioned there was a Text Now app and Text Now phone numbers that
Yes.
have been associated with ZYAH.
Yes.
When you went through Mr. Butt's phone extraction, did you find any of ZYAH's Text Now numbers?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I guess we finna get into the text messages now, guys.
And do you recall what was on his phone? First of all, did you eventually do a search warrant for Text Now?
Yes.
Okay, and did you receive messages back from Text Now?
Yes, so the initial Text Now messages, again, DPS had done those and they had only gone back like a week. I had another search warrant submitted to Text Now and requested to go back to January 1st of 2023.
And from these text and messages on Mr. Butt's phone, did those include all of the messages that you got back from Text Now, or just only parts?
It's all the messages through Text Now that were to that number that was assigned that ZYAH was using on Text Now.
That's what you got back from Text Now?
Yes.
But I'm talking about on Mr. Butt's phone.
Oh, Mr. Butt's phone specifically was just the messages from Text Now between him and ZYAH.
Okay, and did it include everything that you received back from Text Now, or?
No.
Okay. And Chairman, may I approach?
Yes.
Approaching with exhibit 46 and 47.
Okay, guys, we finna get into the text messages between ZYAH and him.
46, recognize what I handed you?
Viewer discretion is highly advised because
Yes,
you're
this
gonna
is
get
a
upset.
extraction report for a iPhone, and it was for phone number account 313-585-8719. And this is the section in that extraction about messages.
Okay. And is that exhibit proposed exhibit 46, is that a fair and accurate depiction of the messages that were on Jarvis Butt's phone between his phone number and the number 213-743-3173?
231, yes. 231.
231.
Yes.
Sorry, numbers. 231-743-3137.
Yes.
Okay. And those are the ones that you have seen on Mr. Butt's phone.
Correct.
And I move for the admission of people's proposed exhibit 46.
Objection.
It'll be admitted as Peoples 46.
And those cover a period of October 7th, 2023 through November 23rd, 2023. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. And now I want to show you proposed exhibit 47. Do you recognize what I handed you in 47?
Yes, this is another extraction from the phone, and this is under the message section.
And is that a fair and accurate depiction of the messages that you went through on Mr. Butt's phone to the number 313-379-5882?
Yes.
Okay. And I would move for the admission of proposed exhibit 47.
How does lower or zero down car insurance sound? Pretty nice, right? Let OSHA help pay for your insurance. Pay us back in split payments when you get paid. Here's how it works. We find you a great deal, then we finance it at no extra cost. Select your payment dates, sign.
No objection, Your Honor.
It'll be admitted as Peoples 47. Can you repeat that phone number?
Yeah, 313-379-5882.
Thank you.
Thank you. And those would be from the date period of September 26th, 2022 to September 30th, 2022.
Yes.
And now I want to show you what's already been admitted as people's proposed or people's exhibits 15 and 16. And these were already admitted. These are certified copies of text mail messages. So I want to talk specifically about subscriber information within them. In Tables 15, is there a subscriber as it relates?
Yes.
Okay, and who's that subscriber?
Excuse me. You need to let me hear. I can't hear you with your back turned.
Okay, so is there a subscriber as it relates to that?
Yes.
Who is that?
The username on here is Kenyatta Harris 955.
And are you familiar with the Kenyatta Harris?
Yes.
And how is it that you're familiar with her?
That is ZYAH's biological mother.
And is there, on the next page, is there a phone number that is associated with that account? It might be on the subscriber information too.
Yes.
And what's that phone number?
313-379-5882.
And what is the period of usage for which the subscriber Kenyatta Harris had that phone number?
The phone ownership is from September 24, 2022 through November 8, 2022.
And for the subscriber information in People's 16, can you tell me who is the subscriber there?
The subscriber here, the username is ZYAH Harris 74.
And is there a phone number associated with that?
Yes.
What's that phone number?
231-743-3137.
And is there a phone ownership date period for that?
Yes.
What's that date period?
January 1st, 2024 to February 6th, 2024.
Are you familiar with the location of 17500 East Warren Avenue in the city of Detroit?
Yes.
And may I approach?
Yes.
And showing you People's 4, 5, and 6 already admitted. How is it that you're familiar with that location?
This is Frank's Auto Repair. It's located on Warren, right at Neff, 17500 East Warren. This is a location that Jarvis Butts worked at prior to working at 9000 Connor.
And that's in the city of Detroit, Wayne County?
Yes.
Hold on, let me come over here and move up a little further because I'm thinking we finna get to the messages. Let me get you some.
Now, did you yourself, I want to go into the interviews with Mr.
Hold on, baby. Hold on, y'all. I'm making my baby some food.
I want to start with an interview back on May 31st, 2024. Do you see the person that you interviewed in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Okay. Can you point to him, tell me a color of the clothing that he's wearing?
Yes, he's sitting behind his defense counsel. He's wearing a face mask and he has the Wayne County green jumpsuit on.
And Your Honor, would the record reflect that witnesses identified defendant Jarvis Butts? And we've been talking this whole time about a Jarvis Butts. Is that the same Mr. Butts in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Okay. Now, this interview back on May 31st, 2024, where was that
That was at the Wayne County Jail.
Okay. And who was all there?
Myself and Sergeant Lance Sullivan.
And do you recall about what time the interview took place?
It was in the afternoon.
Or about how long did this interview last?
Like 2-3 hours.
And with Mr. Butts, did you ask him about his education and speaking English, things like that?
Yes.
Did you offer him any food or drink?
I believe at one point we had asked him about if he needed some water because we had been there a minute.
And did you read Mr. Butts his constitutional rights?
I believe Sergeant Sullivan went through those with him.
Okay. And was something used to assist in the reading of those rights?
Yes.
Okay. And Journal, may I approach?
Yes.
Can you respond to Field Proposed Exhibit 26? You tell me what it is I just handed you.
So this is the Detroit Police Department constitutional rights, advisory rights form.
And is that a fair and accurate depiction of the one that was executed back on May 31st, 2024 with Mr. Butts?
Yes.
Your Honor, I move for the admission of People's Proposed Exhibit 26.
No objection.
It'll be admitted as People's 26.
Thank you. And did Mr. Butts, did he sign or initial acknowledging his rights?
Yes, he read them and he initialed them and he signed.
Okay. And did he agree to speak with you two?
Yes.
Okay. And I would ask for voluntariness.
Sergeant Jones, you came to interview my client on May 31st, correct?
Yes.
It was you and you said Sergeant Sullivan?
Yes.
Were you aware he was represented by counsel at that time?
Yes.
In fact, did one of you call his counsel and ask for permission to interview him?
On that date?
Not on that date, prior to that date.
Several months before, yes.
In April 17th, in fact, right?
I don't have the exact date, but it was a couple months before that.
And the words used were under no circumstances, right?
Under no circumstances.
May you interview Mr. Butts?
Well, that's not true.
You were not told you could not interview Mr. Butts?
Judge, I would object. This is a legal argument. Only the client themselves can enforce their right. A defense attorney cannot enforce their right to remain silent.
I just asked a question. Was she told not to? She couldn't interview?
So,
1 second. Were you going to say something else?
And it has nothing to do with this interview.
If we're talking about voluntariness, I want to see, was she aware that he had a right to have his counsel? They contacted his counsel. His counsel told them no, do not interview. That's my.
You're saying this had nothing to do with this interview that you're speaking?
Yeah, this was 2 months prior. That was not this day. This was completely separate. And a defense attorney cannot invoke their client's right to remain silent. That's just the end of it.
It's true.
So you and your partner went to speak to Mr. Butts, correct?
yes,
You took him, where did you interview him from? At
at the Wayne County Jail.
Okay, did you interview him on this was at, forgive me, at Division 1?
Yes.
Beard? Did you interview him on his floor or did you take him somewhere else?
I don't know where his floor is, so Wayne County had prepared a room for us to be able to interview him.
Okay, so you took him to another room and you and your partner interviewed him?
Yes.
And you gave him his constitutional rights and you did not give him food or water, correct?
Correct.
You don't know what time of day this was?
Well, I just saw the form here, so I see it's about 1 in the afternoon.
Okay. Were you aware that he was working at the jail?
There had been a conversation that he was given some small duties, but then it had been taken away from him.
Okay, do you know if he had worked that day?
That I do not recall.
Okay, and do you know if he had actually been to sleep prior to you visiting him?
When we talked to him, he didn't seem sleepy.
Do you know if he had anything to eat prior to you visiting him?
He did not complain about being hungry.
Yeah, we're going to pass volunteering.
Thank you. Now, this interview with Mr. Butts on May 31st, 2024, was that recorded in any way?
Yes.
And how was it recorded?
It was recorded with a body worn camera from the Detroit Police Department that were issued, and it was also recorded on a audio recording for voice only.
Okay. So it was audio and video on the body cam and then also just
Yeah, so
audio.
2 different factors.
Okay. So, and it's fair that you had seen this video prior to today?
Yes.
Okay. And when you saw that video from May 31st, 2024, was that video a fair and accurate depiction of the video interview that took place?
Yes.
And I move for the admission of People's Proposed Exhibit 27.
Any objection?
No objection.
It would be admitted as People's Exhibit 27.
Thank you. And for the audio, do you have a chance to prior listen to that?
Yes.
And was that audio a fair and accurate depiction of the audio that was recorded from the interview back on May 31st, 2024?
Yes.
And I move for the admission of People's Proposed Exhibit 28.
Any objection?
No objection.
It would be admitted as People's 28.
Thank you, Judge. And you also interviewed him. Well, let's go with the 31st. Your Honor, may I publish?
Yes.
Thank you. And I made clips this time. I'm not going to play the entire video. And for the record, this is from Exhibit 26, and it's clip 1. And this is clip 2. He is very quiet. I don't know if it's my volume that has to go up.
Let me try turning it down. I can hear one word.
Okay, try now. This is starting it for clip 2. Now, in that clip, Mr. Butts was talking about him keeping his distance given his history.
Yes.
And that he tried to help as best as he could with flyers.
That he was trying to help with flyers regarding the ZYAH being missing, yes.
Okay, now I'm gonna play clip 3.
One of the allegations is that I was supposed to get her, she was Did they say why you can't be or you just one time I was having a serious conversations. Something about and I expressed to the same anytime it's not expressing too much, they said that she texted me, and that was very in the house sometimes when I work at first, so I have to come in the office space, and stuff like that, organize for
Now in that clip, he talks mostly about that there was some text messages. He would have the girls come and clean, be at the shop, and he would have work for them.
Yeah, he was talking about, he would pick up the kids, he would give them a little bit of money, and they would come clean up and tidy up the shop.
Okay. And that he believes that it's normal for her to text him for work.
Yes.
Okay. Now clip 4.
Remember that? This that you tried to tell like this for one of these for listening or context because they were listening. And I never said it. But I said
Now he's referring to seeing a text message but being busy.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me what was that about?
When I believe that when she was texting him, he's referring back to when he was interviewed with Detective Mays and Johnson about the messages that she had texted him, and that he had assumed that he was going to be picking them up by the grandma's house. Then he hadn't replied because he was busy working, and then he finally replied with okay.
Okay. Now, you also interviewed Mr. Butts the next day. You came back the next day.
Yes.
What's the reason you came back the next day?
We had some more questions.
Okay. And was he once again, I guess, was he still constrained by that advice of rights?
We had him sign another one. He read another one that day, and he signed it that day as well. I'm pretty sure, or we showed him this and he agreed to it. That's what it was. This was the paper. We showed him, he agreed to it, he understood it, and he continued to talk.
Okay. So you were using that same form?
Yes.
Okay. And once again, sorry. Okay. And once again, he acknowledged his rights.
Yes.
And he did continue to speak with you.
Yes.
Okay. And he didn't mention anything about not wanting to speak with you.
Correct.
And did he give you any any reason in your experience to think that him speaking with you wasn't voluntary?
No.
And just was it? And I pass for voir dire to voluntariness for the June 1st statement.
Sir, do you recall on June 1st, you were with your partner, Sullivan? You didn't have him sign the form.
Well, we had presented this back to him. We had this form, advised him that this was still, if he understood his rights, and he agreed.
So your words, I believe, were, you remember the form you signed yesterday. You still understand that?
And did I say that, or did
No,
Sergeant Sullivan say that?
Sergeant Sullivan said that.
Okay. You want me to say what Sergeant Sullivan said?
No, I just want, you went with your partner and you understand that nobody had him sign anything that day.
That he was re-advised of the rights from the form that he had signed the first day, and he was shown the form, and he agreed to continue to talk.
Are you sure he was re-advised, or so do you remember signing a form yesterday?
You would have to play to hear the exact, I can't tell you the exact words that Sergeant Sullivan said. I don't recall his exact words.
So, I'm going to object to this. As I recall, in this case, there was no hearing of rights for the person. The only thing happened was he was advised, because he didn't sign yesterday, yeah, that's still a problem. That's not. Sure.
What's that sound? What animal makes that sound? You're right, a dog. Oh, hi, it's our friend Bingo. Bingo, what's wrong? You look sad.
I'm sad because I forgot how to spell my name.
Oh, we can help you. Do you guys at home think you can help Bingo remember how to spell his name?
Can you help?
Yeah, I bet I'm going to sing the song Bingo Gilbert Pepper.
Okay.
There was a farmer, had a dog, and Bingo was his name. Oh, and he opened was his name. Oh, just what's that for me? There was a farmer, had a dog, and Bingo was his name. Oh, I-N-G-O, 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 and Bingo was his name. Oh, now he's back with the B and the I. There was a farmer, had a dog, and Bingo was his name. Oh, N-G-O, 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 and Bingo was his name. Oh, now for the V-I-N. You ready? There was a farmer, had a dog, and Bingo was his name. Oh, G-O, 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 and Bingo was his name. Oh, now for the V-I-N-G. There was a farmer, had a dog, and Bingo was his name. Oh, You remember how to spell your name? Yay! Thank you. Thank you so much. This next song, and to be astronaut. You can count into it's gonna be so much fun. Ready? Let's put on our space helmet and put on our spacesuit. Zoom, zoom, zoom. We're going to the moon. Zoom, zoom, zoom. We're going to the moon. Want to take a trip? We're going to
I can't really hear this part of it that good, guys. So I'm gonna kind of like fast forward it a little bit because we at 10 now. Matter of fact, it's a little ways down. I'm gonna go on and get up out of here. And we'll pick up. I'll find exactly where the messages is, and tomorrow I'll do a part 3 with the messages exposed. I will find them tonight for us to do a part 3 tomorrow. Okay, because I am getting tired. So until then, I will see y'all tomorrow. Then it says that's hella crazy. You two just continue to stand ties. Side by side, and anything. Right. Yeah, we keeping a solid foundation or whatever over here. Uh, ain't nobody tripping off of this shit. Like I said, I just left it alone. But I also hit that link over there too, Kelly, cause if you want to like check it out. But like I said, I'm not stopping you from for supporting. Like I said, you can still use your own discernment, and whether you support or not, that would not deteriorate our friendship or anything like that. Just as long as there's no environment of them talking about us, as long as you don't have no environment in that type shit. But hopefully, if the Lord say the same, and they are mature like we are, which is I highly doubt. But hopefully it'll be ceased at that point where they don't go live and then nothing don't happen because we just want the peace and that's all we seeking. But I did want you to know, I did think that you deserve to know why Low Keys is not over here and why she would not be back over here. I just wanted you to know because I know you fuck with her, you know what I'm saying? But I can't do the playing in my face ass shit. I just can't do it, okay? Okay, biggest salute to you. We about to get out of here and I have the messages tomorrow. Where we'll do a part 3 and don't forget we still doing the game show. I will I don't know exactly what day. We already got the foundation of it. Me and Danila is gonna do a pilot game show where we will play the game show ourselves and then we will figure it, just see how it goes and how it runs before we get other content creators over here to play the game show. Um Outside of that, I'll see y'all tomorrow and we'll do a part 3. And like I said before, I'm gonna do the game show when I'm feeling a little bit better. Um I'm kinda under the weather a little bit, but when I'm feeling better and my energy up a little bit better, we will definitely do the game show. So I want my energy to be 110, okay? So we can have a good time. Outside of that, it's okay, Kelly. It's good. People just show their true colors, and that's all that's needed. I mean, I'm glad that it did happen. Better now than, truly opening up to motherfuckers and And me and Danella being some real shit, you know what I'm saying? So it happened for a reason. Ain't nobody tripping and shit. I ain't gotta never see them. So that's that. But God bless to y'all. I love y'all. Love you, Callie, Biggies, and everybody else that stopped by to show love. Um, I will see y'all tomorrow. Y'all stay safe. Have a blessed night. And then make sure y'all make tomorrow better than it was today. Good night.